Hey there, my name is Kelly Dale with Off the Beaten Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, June the 19th. So, like I told you the last couple of weeks, I found these really pretty matte colored beads that I have just fallen in love with. So, I wanted to show you today how to do two different necklaces with some of these new beads. And you know how I love to show you new tools. So I'm going to finish off these necklaces today with the magical crimp pliers is what they call these. Basically, these crimp pliers make your crimp look like a little tiny ball rather than a crimp. So I want to show you those. And if I can find them, I'm also going to show you the new dual pliers from Bead & Line, which are pretty neat, I have to say. They're different, they're awkward, and they're weird looking, but they're really cool. So let me get my bead mat set up and we'll get started. So here's a very simple necklace that I have strung up using all the fun colored beads that we got in. This is the yellow, the lavender, the aqua, the green, and the blue and the orange, which is really, really fun and summery colors. Now, to each side of these beads, I've put their corresponding colors. So for the yellow, I've used the citrine bicones. For this lavender color, I have used a violet. For the aqua, I have actually used indigo light. For the green, I have used peridot. And then for this blue, I've used sapphire. And then my orange, I have used the sun bicone. So you can see that I've coordinated each colored bead with each color bicone. And to me, this is just a very fun summery necklace that you can wear that would really go with whatever you've got. Now the wire I'm using is a 0.018 49 strand wire. And you have to have 0.018 wire and a 2x2 crimp tube to do these pliers with it. It doesn't matter how many strands this wire is, but it has to be 0.018 wire. So I'm going to thread on my 2x2 crimp tube, then my wire protector. These are also called wire guardians, and then I'm going to take part of my clasp and thread it up into the wire protector. Now I'm going to go ahead and run the other wire down through the crimp tube, and then I'm going to hold this wire and then hold the clasp, and I'm going to pull downward. I've already got the clasp on the other end so that my beads would not fall off as I was showing you. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that down. Make sure there's, this is curled together so that way it won't be too stiff for the project. And then if you want to, you can pinch the wire protector together so it will go together a little bit more. And I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here for you. Okay. The magical crimp pliers, the purple handled ones here, are for the 0.018 beading wire. They also make a green handled one that is for 0.014 beading wire. So you can take it and you're going to put it right there in that one little circle. You see it's not a dual one. You put it right in there and you press it. And you see right now it just kind of does like this. Well, then you turn it at a 90-degree angle and you press it. And you can keep going at angles and pressing it, but basically what you're doing is it forms it into this little tiny ball now, and you can pull it and that wire is secure. And it's just making it very decorative for you, so that way you don't have to worry about it, so that when you actually finish off the end, this is what your end looks like. It's very nice and neat and doesn't look like you've even crimped it whatsoever. So that's the really fun thing about using this. Now you can go ahead and you could do this beforehand, but for what I'm doing, for the video, of course, I forget that sometimes. So I'm just going to run it through some beads here, pull that wire tight, and then I'm going to trim that excess piece of wire here, so that now I have my hook and eye clasp and it's finished off very nicely for the necklace. So you can see they're very, very easy to work with. So here's one where I've used all the different colors of these beads that we have. Then I wanted to show you another one that I really, really like. This one right here, let me turn it around. is using the starfish, the sea glass colored starfish, and then I've used the aqua in these glass beads. I've got the aqua, and then I have a sea glass 8mm aqua round, and then I've used crystal AB bicones. I like to use the bicone or the crystals in here just because it gives it enough shiny versus matte for me to actually make it look really well. So again, I'm going to do the same thing to finish off the ends one more time so I can show you. So I've got my crimp tube, my wire protector, then my clasp, and go ahead, pull that back up, and like I said, you can squeeze together the wire protector if you want to so that it's not as open as you work with it, and you can see that here. Make sure you get that all pulled up, and then again, I'm going to use those magical crimp pliers. I'm going to grab a hold of the bottom here. I'm going to press it, turn 90 degrees, press it, and you don't have to do this but once or twice. I just like to go around the whole little ball or the whole little thing, just making sure that my little ball is complete. And again, you can pull on it really tightly and you see it's secure. So for this end, you can go ahead and thread your beads up there so you don't have to worry about that, and then just pull all your beads down so that you never know that that little wire is there. So then you'll go ahead and finish off the other end as well. Now, before I go, I wanted to show you one more fun and funky tool that Beadalon has come out with. This is like their 2-in-1 dual pliers. They're very weird, very funky, but they do serve a purpose, and it's kind of neat because basically, like if you want to make, say you want to do a loop, you can bend your wire, you can make your loop, and then you can hold and wrap. Now I'm using a 20 gauge wire. This is the 20 gauge artistic wire. So it allows you to be able to do a wrap or you know, whatever you want to do. It allows you to be able to have 2 pliers at once, you know, where you can just flip back and forth. So, you know, that way you don't have to have all of these different pliers just kind of laying around to do your job. So, I don't know. They're different. They're funky. I think, you know, some people would definitely love them, use them all the time, you know, just because they are pretty easy to use and just flipping back and forth between them. But they are really different. I think some of you would really, really like this plier, and these are available on my website under tools. So real quickly, just wanted to let you guys know that I will have kits available on my website for this multicolored necklace, which will come with everything that you need, as well as the starfish necklace. And both of these can be found at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. You'll also be able to find all the individual beads there, as well as the dual pliers that I showed you by Beadalon and the little magical crimp pliers. They're both under tools. So listen, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.